here's a typical quadratic function, and we're going to go ahead and solve using the x method. If this is the first time you're seeing this, go check out this video, which will take it more slowly and show you how to. Otherwise, if you want to practice, pause here, try to solve it on your own, and then come on back and let's do it together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to load up my x, and what goes up top is a times c, negative 30, and what goes down below is negative 13. And I'm asking the question, what multiplies to negative 30 and adds to negative 13? So I'm going to make a factor list because that helps. And those are my factors of 30. So I see two sets that have the potential to come together to be a 13. So let's say the first one that occurs to me is the 3 and 10. And I go, okay, I need a negative 13, so they have to both be negative. Then I check. Negative 3 times negative 10, that equals positive 30. These are not my answers. So instead, I try my 2 and 15. Again, I need a negative 13, so my larger factor needs to be negative. And now 2 times negative 15 is negative 30. 2 plus negative 15 is negative 13. Now I remember that because my x squared has a coefficient in this case, these are not what go straight into the parentheses. Instead, these are how I rewrite this negative 13. So it becomes 10x squared plus 2x minus 15x, making my negative 13x, and then minus 3. And now I finish up my factoring by using the technique called grouping. Again, if this is new, go check out this video. Otherwise, let's keep going. I'm going to pull the greatest common factor out of each of my groups. Here, both of these numbers have a 2 in common, and they both have an x in common, and that leaves me with 5x plus 1. And here, whenever I have a leading negative, I definitely want to pull out that negative. So these have a negative 3 in common. And I'm left with positive 5x, because negative 15x divided by negative 3 is positive 5x, and negative 3 divided by negative 3 is positive 1. And that's key because those two things have to be the same. Final step, I pull 5x plus 1 out of both terms, and that is my fully factored version. And if I needed to go on to solve, that would be if they were each set to 0, and then I would set each of these equal to 0 and solve for my two values of x. Okay, next problem. This one's going to be easier because my a is just a 1. So that means when I get my answers in my x method, they go straight into the parentheses and I'm done. So here we go. Negative 8 goes on top, 2 goes down below. That's my factor list. 2 and 4, and in order to end up with a positive 2, my smaller one wants to be negative. Boom, I'm factored. Next. Okay, I have an A, so I know I'm going to need to do grouping at the end. 2 times negative 1 goes up top, 4 goes below. 2 and 1 are my only factors. I gave you this problem to show you what it looks like when the x method will not work to factor your equation. I cannot do this. It's not integer. So at this point, the fastest way is to jump to your quadratic formula. If you want an earworm to help you remember the quadratic formula, check out this video, which shows you the song. Otherwise, let's plug in our numbers. So that's plugging in 2 for A, 4 for B, negative 1 for C. I start to resolve all of this. Negative 4 plus or minus square root of 24 over 4. And I got my 24 by 4 times 2 times negative 1 is negative 8. Minus 8 is plus 8. Okay, now I keep going. My 24 can be rewritten as 4 times 6. And the square root of 4 is just 2. But my 6 has to stay inside. Final step is in the negative 4, the 2, and the 4, I have a common factor of 2. And those are my two answers. Okay, those were 3 quick problems. I've got plenty of videos to give you more practice with this and some that mix up multiple ways of factoring, like difference of squares, difference of cubes. So be sure to check out my factoring playlist. Consider subscribing to my channel so you know when I put out a new video. And as always, keep on mathing.